Hello, Abnormal Investigations. Hope everybody's having a good night. Got another drop for you today. I hope you're going to really enjoy this one. And don't forget, March 2nd, we have moved it to March 2nd, which will be Sunday. We will be live with Harold and CRJ from OCST, and we're going to be talking about the Bigfoot War here in Oklahoma, what led up to it, who was in it, the significance of it, and did it really happen? So we're going to be really diving into that one, so you're not going to want to miss that. It's going to be a really good live Sunday, the 2nd of March. And we're lining up a lot more people for March, and it looks like we're going to be boots on the ground really soon. I got 2 tires coming in, guys, and we're going to be boots on the ground. Finally was able to find 2 that would fit, so we're going to be good on that. And Josh should be joining us, so that boots on the ground should be pretty hairy. We're going to go pretty deep in the woods at night, so you're going to like that one. It's a brand new place, too. This story began on my walk home from my best friend's house. We live deep in the mountains of Idaho, where each home can be up to 5 miles apart. It was late December, and even though I was walking on the road, the snow was several inches deep, and it was falling steadily. In order to get to my house, I had to hike through the dense forest for almost 2 miles. It was around 7 in the evening, so the sky had fallen dark, leaving only the light to be reflected off of the snow. My friends and I have hiked this trail for years and are extremely familiar with it, even in the dark. After cutting off from the old logging road and onto the dark forest, I began to hear heavy footfalls coming from the holler off to my right. Thinking it was just some woodland creature, such as a deer or a moose, since they are heavily populated in this area, I thought nothing of it and kept on my way. Although the footsteps still followed, keeping pace with me as I headed up the mountain towards my home. I began to feel as if the eyes were watching me every move, from behind the tall pines lining the trail. After living here for so long, I knew that no wild animal would take this much interest in a human, so I began to quicken my pace. And that's when the deep, muffled voice came from the dark. Hello, with confusion. I left the trail to try to decipher if there was someone who needed help just out of view. I called out, "Hello, is someone there?" However, I was left with the silence of the falling snow as my only response. Hoping it was only the wind and a trick of my mind, I made my way back to the trail. Thumping footsteps still followed my every step, forcing me to quicken my pace. Suddenly, the snap of a large tree branch forced me to stop. Turning around, I tried to find what had made that sound. That is when I saw the furry black hands reaching around from a small little tree. The figure stood approximately 7 foot tall and easily overtook the mass of the tree. I blinked repeatedly to ensure my eyes weren't playing tricks on me. I took 2 steps back, and the creature's response. Its long arm came out of its body, as if the palm was up like a person was trying to greet a dog. I quickly let out a scream in horror, turning to sprint up the rest of the trail to my house, where I quickly ran inside, slamming and locking the door behind me, afraid to look out the window. Since I was home alone, I quickly ran to my parents' empty bedroom to grab my father's loaded pistol and a flashlight. I made my way to the balcony to the top floor of the 3-story house. Making my way to the railing, I shined the flashlight in the direction of the trailhead, easily seen from the north side of the house. Dark yellow eyes reflected back at me, but the creature only moved from behind the forest to the edge of the tree line, where its full mass could be seen. It was huge. My body froze with complete terror as my eyes adjusted to the full grin of the rows of teeth of the monster. Raising the pistol into the air, I fired 3 shots into the sky. Bang, bang, bang. With a grin still on its face, it turned its large back to me and walked away slowly into the forest and disappeared into the darkness. I walked back inside that place, and I placed the gun into the nightstand drawers and pressed out my parents' bed. Exhausted and traumatized, I never walked that trail alone again at night. Whatever it was afraid of my dad's pistol, and whenever I fired it, it did leave. Now, it smiled at me, but it did leave. And that leads me to believe that you're right, Mike, that these things can be killed in their flesh and blood body. What do you think? I agree. I believe you have the flesh and blood, and I believe you have the spiritual side of these, or the paranormal as people would like to call it. I think spiritual fits better because of my beliefs. But I do believe that they know that in their solid bodies that they can be killed. These demons prefer to have solid bodies so that they can act in the solid, natural part of the world. They want to be able to influence, exist, and be able to do things in the physical. And that is why they crave these hosts or bodies, and I believe try to possess. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for listening, guys. Until next time, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner, and join us March 2nd as we dive deep into the Bigfoot War. I think it's going to be a good one, guys. We'll see you then.